So down here, we have events, and you can see I started creating one for our first meetup post-conference. This is the one that we're in right now, maybe.
I'm wondering how long it takes for those to be gone, because I could see that getting really cluttered real fast.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
So this is ours that we're on. Like, I think that the start the conversation is going to be the place where we really find the follow-up communication to start, and then allowing people to opt into a communication from there. Maybe they're signing up for your email list. And then
That's actually a great strategy. I want to talk strategy here as well. Did you see anywhere, Tracy, after the event expires, does the page become deleted or does it just live forever?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't find
Um,
that.
yeah, I don't have a past event, and I couldn't find anybody talking about it because there's really very little conversation on this yet.
Yeah.
People are using it casually, and so the depth of data that I'm looking for just doesn't exist out there yet.
Okay.
And I only started playing with it, so it's
Sure.
going to be really fun to see what we can do with it. So much like you would have a profile, you create the event, you get to change the background picture, the header picture, you get to put a little profile. So for me, I did a picture from the conference with audience, and then I did the logo in the profile.
Can I
You
ask you
want
a
to get
question?
a, yeah.
Can I, do you think that it could go either way as far as the square image there, your profile picture or the company logo, depending on what the event's about?
I think it just depends on if you're marketing the personal brand or the company brand.
Yeah.
In our case, it's Kevin Kwok and I who have put the conference together, and I it was easier to put our conference logo because we're really building that community, than the Kevin and Tracy show, because that's really not what it is. So for us, it made far more sense for it to be the logo that people would recognize from on stage at the conference, and then just something that showed community, that showed people talking and smiling. And especially when you have a past event, I think it's fun. People always love to see themselves, or they may not love to see themselves, but they love being quasi famous,
Hmm.
that they're online. And the event name, you want to be really, really specific. Don't try to get super fancy and flowery. You want it to be as descriptive and succinct as possible so that when people see only this tiny little piece, they know exactly what it is. And so if it's a quarterly, I would encourage you to put like a Q1 or a Q2 in there so that people can easily identify a recurring, that it shows up easily for them. They can go back and find it. The location we kind of talked about, it's really tricky because it does require a street address. And only once you've put in most of a street address does it give you the drop down. So it can be
Hmm.
a little bit frustrating in that first pass. Venue details, the coaching they give is like add the floor and the room number. I would also say if there's parking or accessibility
Mm,
questions,
yeah.
if there's any other information that would help people, I always say try to craft your event for an introvert. Introverts want all the information up front. So give them as much information as possible. Date, time zone, and then description, things that will be included, what won't be included, anything you recommend that they bring. Those are all really valuable things. In your case, with the virtual, it's, hey, we're going to meet on Zoom, go sign up here, right?
Which I
Um,
I would not recommend going that route because I think it's just against the rules. So just for everybody watching, sorry.
yeah, I'll have that. So the ticketing website, I'm looking forward to playing with. I'm not entirely sure how this one works. I know that it's a little cumbersome, on the Facebook side of things because of the third party. I love to use Eventbrite. That's what I've standardized on professionally because it's super, super powerful, has a bunch of plugins and logistics and analysis that makes my job easier. And so for me, that would end up being an Eventbrite link. And then these settings, you can't change it after you create the event. So be careful about what you choose because you would end up having to delete and recreate the event if you change it. So public event, anyone, everyone, they could go search it and find you. Private event could be only invitees, or you can extend it out to the people that they've invited through their connections. So that's the basics of it. And this is where you can find the terms and services.